All right, Blake. Let's take a look at where we started here, and then where we're at now. And again, I think we've made some tremendous progress. I still think we've got some work to do. Again, when we work in the building and when I analyze swings, we work on three areas. Back leg, back arm, and hitting behind that strong front side. Okay, so let's start with the back leg. And again, we really want that back leg to control our feet. We want to feel like, again, the reason that we stride is so that we can load and unload our back leg. So we really want to feel like, we get that back leg ready before the pitch is released. Okay, and then our first move at the ball is the sideways pressing or unloading of that back leg. Okay, and we want that leg to load, and we want to drive, against this front side here as we attack the pitch. Okay, so in comparing where we were before, you were really trying to, kind of compromise or bypass the stride. You were taught kind of, pick it up and put it down in the same spot, whereas now we really want to feel like all we have to do is just load and then unload the back leg, and that's going to take care of our footwork. Okay, and we're getting much more of a driving contribution, a force-producing contribution out of that back leg. Okay, you see, you line up more like Pujols there, where again, Albert, not much of a stride, but he does definitely get abduction or lateral pressing action out of that back leg. Okay, so when you compare that to where we were here, again, the load and unload is much better. Okay, now let's go ahead and move now to the front side, which really kind of begins with the front foot and the completion, of the stride. And here we were before, and you can see how much excessive opening that we have there, and we still got some of it. I think we're kind of on our way to trimming that back. I still feel like the foot itself is moving out a bit, and then we're still definitely, still opening up more than we need to. You can see Pujols there has some of that. He's kind of a guy that lands maybe a little more open than some of the others, but we're still not to quite this degree. Pujols is still holding probably that 45-degree angle, and we're kind of past that here. Okay. Well, we're doing a pretty good job of keeping our head stabilized here. Once the heel drops, we're stabilizing pretty well. Okay. Probably still a little too open. Okay. You can see there, Albert. You can really see chest on contact there. You've opened up a little bit. I know that's not a perfectly side-by-side view of Albert there, but you can really see here how chest is on ball at contact, and we're not really flown wide open there. Okay, I do like and you can see how quickly Albert's hands get over the top there, especially here in the bottom left. You can see your hands are working better as you play that through. You can see how your hands are snapping through better now. Loop it through again. Just watch how much smoother the finish is, compared to the two. Here you're really trying to kind of hang on to the ball, and hang on to the bat, and much more of a spin type of move at it. Whereas here you can really see the hands work. We get better transfer through the ball there. Again, we've got to get here. We've got to get top hand over bottom. At this point, we've worked on releasing the top hand, but we've got to make sure that hand finishes, as part of the swing, that we don't release too soon. Make sure that hand gets over the top, then we can release. Okay, but the release we've got now, I think, is really an effect of us, making better use of our hands through the ball, which is really better transfer from the upper body. We've got a little less brace, a little less turn, a little better bracing effect. Okay, so long story short, we're hitting the ball better with our hands and less with our shoulders and arms. Staying here with the front side, and that really for me includes everything from the foot all the way up through the eyes. And so we want to keep a nice quiet head. Keep our head back behind the ball. Our eyes should be fairly quiet, and just get a good picture of the ball out front there. Okay, shouldn't be trying to follow the ball with our neck. And Blake, I think you know, our head position's in a real good spot there. Pretty quiet. Head stays out front. The neck is quiet. That's pretty good there. Also, as part of that front side, I include the lead arm. You're a long, flexible kid, and so your hands are going to get back more. You know, this lead arm's going to, because you're so long, this lead arm's going to be back a little more. With the lead arm, we don't want to force it to straighten, but we don't want to fight the extension either. So we want it long, but we don't want it rigid. Okay, you can see Albert's there as well. Okay. So again, really, you know, the lead, we want that long and relaxed, where your swing may, really with the lead arm may shorten some, is with this back arm. Eventually, if we can get that a little bit more flexion in that back elbow. But we'll cover the back. All right, Blake, let's take a look at the back arm action. And again, that back arm, very simple movement that we're looking for. Not necessarily easy, but it is simple and straightforward. We want that elbow to work up and to the ball while staying bent and keeping the barrel above the hands. You can see here when you're slotted in, that barrel is working way behind you. We want to have a feeling that the barrel works more or less in front of our bodies. You know, we want that elbow again to work up, and then that elbow is going to work to the ball. And at this point, we really want that barrel on top of our hands, working in front of our bodies. We throw the barrel down and behind the ball, working in front of us, not behind us as much as you've got it. Okay, so you want to kind of feel like there's a wall behind you, and you want to keep that barrel in front of that wall. Okay, so we also don't want to let the elbow widen quite as much as we have it there. The angle here is a little wider than it needs to be. You can see how sharp, you know, Mike Schmidt kept his here. Howard, very similar with Schmidt there, in that when they slot in, you know, our angle here is very sharp. Okay, very bent there when the elbow slots. Okay, so the elbow is going to lift and slot, but it's not going to straighten out. So again, that's wider than we need to be. And you could have, you know, a little bit more elbow action, maybe a little less with the hands. It's really about the elbow, and try not to feel this hand reach back here and get wide. And we get to that position there, and then the barrel lays off behind us. So here we have, you know, your palm facing up at the sky, you know, which takes the barrel behind you, and the elbow widens too much. Okay, so the professional arm has a very bent elbow with the palm still directed here. Okay, which keeps the barrel stacked above the hands. Okay, so we've got to keep that elbow more bent. We've got to keep the barrel above our hands. And then from here, we want that top hand to throw out into extension and pronate over. Okay, and that's not too bad there. Take a look at Howard. Take a look at Schmidt here. Okay, as that back arm fires out, we get contact, then we get extension and pronation. The top hand gets over. See the same thing there with Howard. Okay, extension, and then the top hand gets over the top. Like, we look a lot better, you know, with our hands really finishing there a lot sooner. The old swing, you're kind of pulling the bat around, hands aren't working as much. Okay, so just try to feel, you know, from this launch position here, that top hand fire out and really throw that top hand through the ball.